New Moon Manor, one of Sneaky's latest custom tracks, which instantly caught people's eye with its incredible visuals and theming. However, with multiple shortcuts, difficult blind turns, and obstacles, this track has quite the learning curve and is not one for beginners. That is why today we are going through the vortex to teach you New Moon Manor. Let's get started. Start by aligning twice to the left as you get your startup boost. Hold left to align for the edge of the grass and wheelie. As you reach this patch of grass, do a mixed soft drift to the right. As you get your mini turbo, release and wheelie along the grass edge, then do another mixed soft drift to the right and release towards the ramp ahead. Trick off this ramp and hold left just a bit to avoid hitting the wall. Once in midair, you want to nosedive and transition into a tail dive before hitting the ground to get a good landing. It is quite bouncy coming up to this ramp, and on rare occasions you will actually miss the trick and get a wheelie instead, which will inevitably send you into the invisible wall ahead. If you happen to get this, there is no way of avoiding the invisible wall. However, you can cancel your wheelie in midair to hit the wall later. Once you hit the wall, be sure to charge a standstill mini turbo as you land to get back to top speed. Once you land from the big drop, wheelie, then perform a soft drift to the right with a left follow through to be aligned to the right of the wall ahead. Then perform a left soft drift and chain it into another soft drift. Next, wheelie up the wooden road and trick off the ramp and land in a tail dive. As you land, hold right to face the right side of the ramp, then wheelie. Tricking off the right side of the ramp as shown here will give you much less air. As you trick off this ramp, hold right to land on the top portion of the road, which will decrease airtime. As you land from this trick, hold right, then wheelie to align for the striped section ahead. If you struggle to align for the ramp and for the turn ahead, you can delay your wheelie or not wheelie at all to have more control over your vehicle. Also, if you happen to be aligned for the left side of the ramp, you can do a drift trick to the right off of it to decrease your airtime significantly. For the following turn, chain 2 soft drifts, then do a drift trick to the right off the ramp to be aligned wide for the sharp left turn. For this turn, start with a soft drift to avoid hitting this pillar. Then, when in midair, hold back while maintaining your drift. Finish off by holding hard left as you land. For the right turn that follows, soft drift then release with a left follow through. After tricking off this ramp comes 3 left turns that are all quite difficult to do without hitting any walls or obstacles. For the first turn, soft drift, and then as you get a mini turbo, release, wheelie, and hold right to be aligned wide. For the second turn, do a delayed hard drift to the left. After this turn, there are 2 ghost Goombas. These Goombas are not much of a problem as they are always either wide or towards the center. However, the second Goomba may force you to take the following left turn with a tight alignment, which can make it harder to avoid backspams. The third left turn is the most challenging, since you cannot take the tight line as the bats will slow you down significantly. The wide line has 2 large pillars that makes this turn very precise to do correctly. You want to start with a soft drift to the left. Then as you approach the wall on the other side, you want to hold right while maintaining a drift to drive in between the wall and the pillar. Then release, wheelie, and hold right. As you approach the wall ahead, hop slightly to the left to drive down the red carpet. A backup strat for this turn would be to charge a mini turbo in between the wall and the pillar, then charging a second mini turbo to align for the carpet floor. The alignment for the upcoming right turn is quite precise, so if you are not properly aligned, you can drift left to stay on the track. Then do a soft drift to the right to get a mini turbo. The next ramp is done differently depending on the thwomp position. If the thwomp is more towards the right side, you want to do a drift trick to the left. And if the thwomp is more towards the left side, you want to do a drift trick to the right. If done properly, you should be able to wheelie along the straight without realignment. For the following left turn, there is another moving thwomp, which moves accordingly with the first thwomp. So if the first thwomp is on the right side, then the second thwomp will be on the left side and you will have to take the left turn wide. And if the first thwomp is on the left side, then the second thwomp will be on the right side, and you will have to take the left turn tight. After this left turn, chain a right drift and do a mixed soft drift with a left follow through. Then trick off the final ramp, nosedive, and wheelie to complete the lap. New Moon Manor has plenty of shortcuts. Though while not all of them are viable, it is good to know that they are there and that you can use them if need be. So I will be going through all of them from most to least important. First, and arguably the most important shortcut on this course, is the Shoeless Shortcut that has you tricking off 2 ramps to skip the turn. I already explained this shortcut in my how to do every important custom track shortcut in CTGP part 2 video, but I'll explain it here again for those who have not seen it. Start by taking this right turn, then release and hold left. I prefer to not be in a wheelie after releasing my mini turbo for consistency. After releasing your mini turbo, aim for the sloped section of the ramp and trick off of it. This will allow you to land on the off-road ramp ahead where you can trick off of it to the track below. The next shortcut requires 1 mushroom. This is the largest 1 shroom shortcut on this course and is a shortcut of choice in time trials. For this shortcut, wheelie as you land from the big drop, then hop to the right to face the mud. Proceed to shroom and wheelie off the mud ramp to land on the elevated piece of road on the other side. As you land, charge a slip drift and trick off the edge of the road to complete the shortcut. There is a good amount of grass on the right side at the very beginning of the lap. You can use the grass to do 2 shortcuts. The first one requires 1 mushroom. First, drive in between the tree and the lamp. Use your mushroom as you hit the grass and trick off the edge of the grass to fly through the vortex. The other shortcut that uses the grass is done with 2 mushrooms. This time, start by driving to the right of this lamp. Use your mushroom as you hit the grass and drift right to drive inside the trees. Then, use your second mushroom. Trick off the edge of the grass and release your drift while holding back to fly through the vortex. If you do not take the Shroomless Shortcut, you can use a mushroom to skip the mud here to skip the turn. This shortcut is not that useful due to its positioning on the track, but if you get shrooms from the item set prior, it's worth taking. The next shortcut requires 2 mushrooms by drifting to the left off the sloped part of the ramp and using your mushrooms to the left of the wall. But unfortunately, it is around a second slower than doing the Shroomless Shortcut, so there is no real use for it. The final shortcut takes place at the end of the lap. You can do this shroomless by drifting hard left towards the very left side of the ramp, then tricking while holding right in a drift. Or with a shroom by simply shrooming and tricking towards the wall. Unfortunately, this shortcut is also a second slower than just taking the normal route, so the only use of this shortcut would be to dodge a red shell. But wait, there is one more shortcut, the task method of the Shoeless Shortcut, which is only done 1 for 3 by the best known time. This is strictly a time trial strat that should only be done if you want to get a ridiculous time on this course. While attempting this shortcut for around 30 minutes, I managed to get it once, and as you can see, it is so bad that I rarely saved any time. But while practicing this, I did learn a good amount on how to actually do this properly. You want to drive off the highest point of the ramp, and as you drive off, hold a bit to the left and tail dive in midair. You need to hit this exact spot on the ramp in order to get the trick. If you go just a bit too low, you will just bonk into the wall and fall off, and if you get too much air, you will miss the trick completely. If you land on the sweet spot, trick and aim towards this lamp. As you hit the ramp, trick off of it and hold right. You need to hold right or else you will not be able to land on the hedge. Finally, trick off the hedge and hold left to avoid landing in the fountain. The Shroomless Shortcut is a key factor on this course in an online race, as not only does it save a lot of time, but you can easily block this shortcut, and it is very hard to see if it is blocked until it is too late. This makes it very easy to get a break on this course, as if you are in first, you can block this shortcut with a banana or fake item box and either kill players behind you or make it so that you are the only person who gets to take it. There are also a lot of blind corners on this track. When in the front, I highly recommend backstimming as much as you can on these turns, as not only are they hard to avoid, but the abundance of shortcuts makes it essential that you get a break to hold your position. The blind corners also make it very easy to avoid red shells, allowing you to play very offensively. Lastly, the shock spot on the scores is usually first set, or if not lap 3, last set, as it gives the shock user a chance to chain items to do all the shortcuts that are present at the start of the lap. And that is all for this one. That is how to drive and play the stunning and complex course that is New Moon Manor. As always, if you enjoyed or learned something from this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time.